Bandits, ISWAP, Mamuda, Lakurawa are doing real-time electronic transmission of their activities. They are doing electronic transmission of their kidnap ransom. They are doing TikTok live electronic discussion of their kidnapping activities. They are on Twitter tweeting electronically. Government, they tell me that they cannot electronically transmit my vote from the polling unit to IREV. It not work. A government that wants to take my tax. A government, I transfer money from one account, enter another account. You collect tax inside. Nekwemu, shame no catch you. I transfer money from account A to another account B. You collect tax, but you no want transmit election result electronically. So you like my tax, but you not like my vote. Boy, I pour you spit, Akpabio. Wagbon. Your head is not correct. I pour you spit. Pregnant woman, where they 8 months and 2 weeks, I pour you that pregnant woman spit. I pour you 90-year-old a day spit. I pour you a power day winner spit. You want my tax, but you don't want my vote. You are taking my tax, but you don't need my vote. You know how to take my tax, but you don't care about my vote. So I should give you money. You want to reap where you did not sow. You want to reap where you did not sow. We are using our taxes to service your libido.
Hello everyone, did you watch that video? And it's actually absolutely spot on. If bandits can electronically transmit or do electronic transmission of their activities, then INEC should also be able to transmit result electronically. It's one thing, it actually should be a thing of shame for politicians to actually open their mouth confidently, and some of them even do it proudly, to say that, you know, there is no internet in their places, or there's no development, or that people are not educated. It's nonsense and it's rubbish. But by the way, if you ask, really, you go to lots of villages, I'm sure there is hardly any village where you will not see a POS working. And so if a POS can work there, then definitely there can be electronic transmission of result. Electronic transmission of result is actually sacrosanct, and it is important that we citizens understand that, and we insist on that. And it's not just to take pictures and say you are taking pictures of from EC8, EC10, EC30, EC whatever. No. Wherever the results are, there should be that method where you're computing the results at the polling unit level, and you're adding them and you're sending them through a system, and then from there the system adds them up, and you can all see how this thing is added up. It's not rocket science. It's electronic, real-time electronic transmission of result. In that way, everybody gets to see what the voting pattern is like, who voted what, how did people vote, and you go up from there. And it's quite surprising that you see such pushback on this thing that has to do with transparency. But then again, it's not surprising, because we know all of that bulabalu that they do, all of that bravado, all of that show of force is just what? Show of force, and nothing attached to it. They know they cannot win election. They know they have not been winning election. But what they rely on is this whole forgery, where they change results, they rig the election, and they manipulate results and get themselves in. And this is what citizens are actually, you know, so onto and tired of all the things that have happened, you know, in years back, in days back, and whatever, and say this time that they want to see that electronic transmission of result. And it is important for every Nigerian, you know, to sit up and demand for that. Don't wait and say that, oh, there are certain people who are the ones who are supposed to make demands of why you do nothing. I met a gentleman today who said he's 55 years old, and today was his first time of ever coming out to protest. And according to him, that he was doing it not even for himself, but for his children, because he felt that his children were deserving of a better Nigeria. And I'm sure there are so many other people who actually were coming out for the first time today. And if you're one of those people who haven't come out at all, hey, there's always a first time for everything. Do come out. It's important for citizens to understand their value, their rights, whether it's human rights or it's fundamental rights, but they have their rights, and ensure that they have a Nigeria that works for them all. These are very critical and germane things that are really needed for citizens to be able to have a decent life in their own country. We cannot just sit down and do nothing and then we're expecting that results will suddenly be this. No, we have to come out. So even if it's today, like I said earlier, even if it's today, it's your first time of coming out, please do come out and let's make this demand. We've seen situations whereby bandits, terrorists, criminals all over are demanding, using technology to demand for ransom. They're on TikTok, they're on Twitter, they're on social media. They're doing all sorts of things out there. Why, if they are in these bushes and they are able to transmit, why then can we not transmit this result? But then there are also citizens who are saying, hey, they are ready also to provide, the main star links for there to be that transmission of results. There is no excuse whatsoever that would warrant there for there not to be transmission of result. In 2022, unfortunately, that was not put in the law. And even though INEC did give their words that they were going to do that, they now went and did not fulfill that promise that they had made. And unfortunately, again, for Nigeria, the courts, that bases itself on unnecessary technicalities, even when it takes away the power of the people or justice from the people, they decided that that INEC was not bound to follow its rule, even though there was another ruling that sort of like said INEC was bound to follow its ruling. I mean, we have a captured judiciary, we have a captured nation, we have a captured security agency. It's only the citizens that have not been captured. Even that, they're trying so hard, to get there. So there is a need where people are saying we need to see this in real time, let the results come in. And that's not saying that it's foolproof, that the kind of politicians we've had over the years are the ones who will desperately do anything for them to be able to rig elections. So of course it's not as if that's the end. Some people are like, well, will that solve the problem? But right now we need that. We need to be able to see our results as they're coming in. We're seeing it on there, and there's nothing like some people coming at the end of the day to now go and start rigging somewhere or the other. But remember, if terrorists have electronic transmission of their activities, then INEC must have electronic transmission of the result that the people voted for. Thank you so much for watching.